Alright, so I'm using this Harbor Freight Master Fuel Injection Kit. This is a really nice kit, so if you guys haven't seen it before, the item number is 97706. You've got basically a fuel pressure gauge and a ton of fittings. So you've got different fittings, and you've got hoses, extensions, so on and so forth. So very comprehensive kit. If any of you guys own a CIS fuel injected car, anything Mercedes from 76 to pretty much 91, Volkswagen, English Ford, early Porsche 911s, 930, basically a lot of cars use Bosch KE Jetronic, also known as CISE. This kit will have everything that you need to diagnose the fuel injection on those cars, and it's one of those things where on the CIS cars there's really no other way to figure out whether you have fuel injection problems or not other than using pressures. They don't have any kind of onboard diagnostics or anything else like that. So going to the Jag, what I did is I just used this fitting over here because it enters into the fuel hose. I just put another connector on the other end because I don't really have a good receptacle to go into the car. So I just used another Schrader valve on the other side just to seal everything up. So effectively this is going to be our fuel rail, and we should be able to measure pressure. We're not going to be able to start the car, but we should be able to crank it. That's the fuel gauge. So let me pause it for a second, put the fuel gauge on, and you can see it's just basically a quick fitting. You just put it on, and then we can crank the car and test the fuel pressure. So give me a second. Alright, so the fuel pressure gauge is attached to the fitting, and I should be able to just start cranking, and it'll give me an idea what the fuel pressure is. So something's going on. I'm not getting constant fuel pressure. Let me see if I can stand that gauge up. It could be bleeding back into the system. That could be the reason why I'm not seeing fuel pressure. Alright, so that settles out then. We can see that you can see what the problem is. You're not getting any kind of fuel pressure build up, just volume. So there you have it, guys. So you can see the car's not really building up any kind of fuel pressure. You're barely getting, you're not even getting 5 psi fuel, so that's barely enough to even start a carbureted car. So I'm guessing that we're going to need to pull the tank again. Not sure exactly what's going on. There may be an obstruction. The pods were mounted in these rubber assemblies at the bottom of the tank. Maybe they slipped or they moved. We did have to glue a barb fitting on top of those little pods where the fuel pumps sit in, so that they could, so that they could attach. That could have come apart. We did try to use a fuel-resistant epoxy that basically is designed for inside the gas tank, but it may have failed, or the pumps themselves may have failed. So, but in any case, pump has to come out. We're done. So we know what the issue is, and we're going to start addressing it. Hey guys, this is Al. So we figured out what the problem is on the 6-liter car. So if you remember, and I'll try to post a picture of this from a previous video, but we had the fuel pump assembly fits in a pod, and one of the pods had a barb fitting. They both have barb fittings, but one of them had a barb fitting that had come off. And what we tried to do is we tried to use this stuff over here, it's called Seal All, and it's designed to be oil and gas resistant. It's an epoxy finish. Unfortunately, it doesn't do a good job. So what effectively happened is that the barb fitting came loose, and it popped off, and that's why the car lost pressure. So it was running enough fuel to actually feed feed the fuel line, but not enough pressure to do anything else. It's unfortunate because everything has to come back out again, and obviously I need to find a new lid for that assembly that's in good shape. I've gotten a couple of calls out to a Jaguar specialist over here in the DFW area. So he said that he needs a couple of days to look for it, so I'm going to have to wait a couple of days before I find out. There's also a couple of parts cars that I may end up buying if I don't find anything. I think that those pods are also, the in-tank pods are also the same as what's in the later XJ6s, the XJ40 style XJ6s, the X300 style XJ6s, and if it's the same, I can use those. I'd also really like to get hold of the little mounting, the rubber mounting piece, because mine are all swollen and ineffective. So I can see that doing a sharp corner or something like that would create that problem. Would knock the fuel pumps over, and then the car will stop running. So I want to get that fixed as well. So ideally, if I can find those pieces, it will be a permanent solution to my problem, and then I can get back to working on this car. So that's really it. The way that we figured out the problem is that we drained enough of the gas to be able to pop open the fuel tank sending unit, pull it out, and then we used an inspection camera to take a look inside and see what was going on. And I have a picture of that where you can see how the little barb that connects to the hose from the fuel pump had separated away from the actual lid. So you'll see a picture of that as I film this video. I have one over there. But that's it really for now. Today I'll be focusing on my Brooklands. You may have seen some videos on this. We've been doing some paint work, some paint repair on the car. So I have the painter over here. He's coming over. He's going to be doing some sanding, wet sanding and buffing. He's done a real good job so far. I mean, so if you look, the paint's come out like glass. It's looking real nice. So we just need to basically reattach the hood pad, and then reattach the hood. He's still got to buff the hood, so he's wet sanded it. I'm learning loads about how to properly mask cars up so that you don't create like piles and piles of overspray. How to go about wet sanding and buffing, because it's always been a real challenge for me. I always end up burning too much. If it doesn't come out perfect, I can rarely fix it by wet sanding and polishing. I just don't have that skill, so I'm learning that slowly from these guys, which is real nice as well. But that's about it. We'll talk about that on another day, and I'll give you an update once the car is put back together again. All right, thanks very much. Take care.